It's the very first day of a brand new month. Margaret, who is 71 years old, walks down to her mailbox just like she has every Tuesday for the past 9 years. But on this particular morning, there's a heavy white envelope waiting inside. The return address simply reads, Social Security Administration. She sits down at the kitchen table to open it. Her hands begin to tremble. The notice tells her she was paid too much. It tells her she now owes the federal government thousands of dollars. And tucked into the second paragraph, printed in plain black ink, are the words that nearly stop her heart. We will withhold 100% of your monthly benefit until the overpayment is recovered. That's her whole check, the money that covers her rent, her food, her Medicare premium, wiped out, just like that. What Margaret doesn't realize yet is that she has only 30 days to do one specific thing: submit one particular form that can lawfully prevent the Social Security Administration from collecting a single penny. And if she lets that window slip away, she could go months without income before she sees a dime returned. If you're receiving Social Security benefits, please don't scroll away. What I'm about to share could protect your very next payment. Hello, my dear friend. I am Georgia, a Senior Policy Analyst, and for many years now, I have helped retirees just like you make sense of the rules that nobody at the Social Security office ever bothers to spell out. Today, I want to speak to you gently, not to alarm you, but to get you ready. Because there is a form, a real government-issued official form, that the Social Security Administration does not place on the front page of your overpayment notice. They tuck it away deep in the small print. Most seniors never make it that far down the page, and by the time they understand what this form actually does, their payment is already taken. In just a few minutes, I'm going to explain exactly what this form is, when you must submit it, and the 30-day rule that legally shields your benefits. But please stick with me through to the very end, because there is one mistake I watch retirees make again and again, even after they discover this form. And that single error can cost them their full monthly payment, even when they've done everything else perfectly. So go ahead and pour yourself a warm cup of coffee, settle in, and let's walk through this side by side. Let me share with you the story of Robert. Robert is 67 years old, a retired postal worker out of Ohio. Married to his wife, Linda, for 42 wonderful years, 2 grown children, 3 grandkids that he picks up from school every single Friday afternoon. Robert is a careful, thoughtful man. He pays every bill the moment it arrives. He files his taxes early each year. He even keeps a folder labeled Social Security tucked into the top drawer of his desk, holding every single letter the SSA has ever mailed to him. Last April, Robert opened his mail and discovered a notice from Social Security. The letter explained that he had been overpaid by $8,400 across the previous 2 years because, according to the SSA's records, his part-time consulting income was higher than the figure they had on file. Robert was puzzled. He had reported that income himself, but the letter insisted he owed the money back, and starting the following month, they were going to withhold 100% of his $2,180 monthly benefit until every dollar of the debt was repaid. Now, here's where Robert made the same mistake that thousands of seniors are repeating right now. He picked up the telephone. He dialed the 1-800 number. He sat on hold for 47 long minutes. And then he calmly, politely explained his situation to the agent. He told her he had reported his income. He told her this had to be some kind of error. The agent listened, scribbled some notes, and replied, "We'll look into it, sir." Robert hung up the phone feeling much better. He was sure he had taken care of it. 5 weeks later, Robert checked his bank account. His Social Security deposit wasn't there, not a single penny. He called once more. This time, a different agent told him, "Sir, you never submitted Form SSA 632. A phone call is not a waiver. Collection started automatically after 30 days passed." Robert had done everything a polite, careful gentleman would do, but he simply didn't know the rule. A phone call does not stop the collection, only a properly filed form does. He missed his deadline, and by the time he finally got the form turned in, he had already lost 2 complete months of benefits. That is the trap I do not want you falling into. So let's break down exactly what Robert should have done and what you must do if a letter like this ever shows up in your own mailbox. Allow me to give you the facts, pulled directly from the Social Security Administration's own website. On March 7th, 2025, the Social Security Administration formally announced a major shift in policy. They brought back what they call the 100% default overpayment withholding rate. What does that actually mean in everyday language? It means that beginning March 27th, 2025, if the SSA determines you were overpaid, even by a single dollar, they can automatically take 100% of your monthly Social Security payment until that debt is satisfied. Not 10%, not 50%, the entire amount. Now, there is a small bit of good news here. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, your withholding rate remains at just 10%. And if your overpayment was identified before March 27th, 2025, your previous recovery rate stays exactly as it was. You don't have to do anything new. But for everyone else, every retiree, every disabled worker, every survivor receiving Title II benefits, this new 100% rule is now in full effect. So what protects you? The Social Security Administration provides you with 3 legal tools, 3 official forms, and I want you to remember these names because they are the most important documents any retiree can know about. The first one is Form SSA.gov. This is the one I really want you to focus on. It's called the Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. This form does something remarkable. It asks the SSA to forgive the debt completely, to erase it, to allow you to keep what you've already received. To qualify for a waiver, you must demonstrate 2 things. 1, that the overpayment was not your fault. 2, that paying it back would either cause you serious financial hardship or would be, in the SSA's exact wording, against equity and good conscience. That phrase sounds formal, but it simply means it would be unfair. And here's something most people never hear about. AARP has confirmed on their official website that this is a genuine right you have. You, IDONC, can ask the government to forgive the debt. You just have to ask in writing on the correct form. The second form is SSA 634. This is the Request for Change in Overpayment Recovery Rate. You submit this one if you accept that you were overpaid, but losing 100% of your check would leave you unable to pay rent, buy groceries, or afford your prescriptions. The SSA 634 reduces your monthly withholding to an amount you can actually manage to live on. The third form is SSA 561U2. This one is the Request for Reconsideration. You file this when you believe the SSA got it wrong, that you were never overpaid to begin with, or that the amount they're claiming is incorrect. Now please listen closely, because this is the single most important sentence I'll say in this entire video. If you submit any one of these 3 forms within 30 days of the date printed on your overpayment notice, the Social Security Administration is legally required to halt all collection until they reach a decision on your request. That is the protection. That is the rule. That is the form Robert never knew existed. And here's another thing I want you to know. If your overpayment is less than $2,000, you don't even need to complete the long form. You can dial 1-800-772-1213 and request the waiver right over the phone. The SSA is able to handle small dollar waivers quickly, often during a single call. But for anything larger than that, you need the form, in writing, within 30 days. And one more thing. Even if you happen to miss the 30-day window, you can still submit Form SSA 632 at any later point. The waiver right does not expire. But here is the painful part. If you file late, the SSA will already have started withholding your check. You'll have to fight separately to make them pause collection while they review your situation. You may eventually recover the money, but that could easily take months. Months without any check coming in. Months you simply cannot afford. That is why timing is everything. The 30-day rule is the whole ball game. So now let me hand you a simple 3-step action plan. If you ever receive an overpayment letter from the SSA, or if you have a friend or a loved one who does, please follow these steps in this exact order. Step 1. Read the date printed on the letter and mark day 30 on your calendar. The clock begins ticking the day the notice is dated, not the day you opened it, not the day you finally got around to reading it, the date printed right at the top. Find that date, count 30 days forward, circle it boldly in red ink. That is your deadline to file. Step 2. Pick the right form and submit it in writing. If you believe the SSA made a mistake and you were never overpaid in the first place, file Form SSA 561U2. The reconsideration. If you accept that the overpayment happened but it wasn't your fault and you simply cannot afford to repay it, file Form SSA 632BK, the waiver. This is the most powerful one. It can erase the debt completely. If you accept the debt but cannot survive having 100% withheld, file Form SSA 6344, the rate change. You can find all 3 forms by going to SSA.gov forms. Or you can walk into any local Social Security office and request them by name. Bring 2 copies with you. Have one stamped as your proof of filing. Then keep that stamped copy somewhere safe. Step 3. Do not rely on a phone call alone. This is precisely what failed Robert and what cost him 2 whole months of benefits. A phone call is not a legal filing. The most pleasant agent on the line cannot stop your 30-day clock. Only a submitted dated form can accomplish that. Feel free to call with questions by all means, but do not allow a phone call to replace your paperwork. And one bonus tip, because I want you fully covered. After you file, request a personal conference. If your waiver gets denied, this is your right under SSA rules. It allows you to sit down in person or over the phone with the actual decision maker before any money is taken from your check. Most seniors never think to ask for it. You should. My dear friend, I want to be straightforward with you. The rules are shifting quickly. The 100% withholding policy I just walked you through didn't even exist 2 years ago. New notices are going out in the mail every single week. And the YouTube notification system, that little bell icon, doesn't always tell you when I publish a new video. YouTube makes that decision, not you, not me. That means if a major rule changes tomorrow about Social Security, about Medicare, about your bank, about your pension, about airport security for seniors, you may never see the alert in time. So I created something to solve that problem. Down in the description below this video, you'll find a link to the Global Senior Alerts official WhatsApp channel. It is completely free to join. When you click that link, you'll receive 2 things. First, you can download our free Senior Benefits Protection Guide, a simple PDF document that lists every important SSA form, every deadline, and every phone number you need to safeguard your check. Second, you'll receive real-time updates sent directly to your phone anytime there is an important development involving Social Security, pensions, banking rules, insurance policies, or travel regulations affecting seniors. No algorithm, no bell icon, sent straight to you. So please, take just 10 seconds right now and tap that link. Come join us. Because the next overpayment letter, the next Medicare change, the next rule shift, you deserve to learn about it the day it happens, not a month afterward. I'll be back here next week with another important update. Until then, please share this video with one person you love who is receiving Social Security. One share could rescue their entire check. This is Georgia. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and always remember, the rules may keep changing, but you have rights. You just need to know what they are. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.